revered Swami Atmashraddhanandaji Maharaj, dear Swami Atmashraddhanandaji, members of the faculty, other monastic members, and my dear friends here. Let me start with a pranama mantra, the mantra which is used for invoking the blessings of Sri Ramakrishna. This was composed by Swami Vivekananda. Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarva dharma swarupine avatar varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Swami Vivekananda calls Sri Ramakrishna as Sthapakaya Dharmasya, one who established Dharma. And he also calls him as Avatar Varishta. I would like to dwell upon his life and teachings, speak about Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings from the viewpoint of Dharma Sthapana. We all know the word Dharma. Generally we translate the word Dharma as religion. Friends, please make it very clear in your mind, religion and Dharma are very different. Religion is a beautiful word, it has its own meaning. But Dharma is a very specific word. It means something which is very basic to India. That is why the religions which have come out from the soil of India are known as the dharmic traditions or wisdom traditions. What is Dharma? Dharayate iti dharma kyaho. That which holds together is called Dharma. Let's understand this. That which holds together. So in that sense, everything has got a Dharma. Everything has got a Dharma. So that which is an essential property of something is called Dharma. So there is a property, let's say, of fire. What is the property of fire? To burn. That is the Dharma of the fire. Just as elements of nature have got their Dharma, so also animals have got their Dharma. Suppose a lion kills a man, we don't call lion a criminal. We never say he has done a crime. He knows his Dharma to eat, he did that. Of course, from our angle we suffer, we have a feeling we should, if he is a man-eater, we put him to death and all that. But for a lion's angle, he is quite following his Dharma. Likewise, the trees, the environment, the Prakriti, everything has got a Dharma. Now, that Dharma is not to be established, it keeps happening. It's by the Prakriti, by the nature. But there is one Dharma which is really to be considered as far as we are concerned, and that is the Manava Dharma. The religion or the Dharma of the human beings. So we have Dharma as per our age, as per our ashrama. So you are in the ashrama of study, students, then you are a married ashrama, you have an old age ashrama. Ashrama does not mean a place, ashrama means stage. All of them have got a Dharma, a specific duty. A child's duty is not an elder's duty. An elder's duty is not a child's duty. There are differences in duties. Above all, Dharma means that which keeps the society together, doesn't allow it to get disintegrated. It means the sum total of all values, higher values, sum total of all duties, sum total of all that is noble, that is called Dharma. All that is noble put together is called Dharma. Now how did Sri Ramakrishna establish the Dharma? So can we establish Dharma by giving a lecture? If that be the so, Sri Ramakrishna never did any, he never gave any public talk. So how did he establish any Dharma? Can we establish Dharma by writing a book? Sri Ramakrishna hardly knew how to read and write. So where is the question of him establishing Dharma by writing a book? So how is Dharma established? Sri Ramakrishna established Dharma by his life. And that is how really the Dharma is established. What is the meaning of life? Life means not just the biography. You have a biography of Sri Ramakrishna. It's wonderful. You can read it. Read his biography. It's there in Tamil. It's there in different Indian languages, in English, various languages outside India. They have all been fascinated by Sri Ramakrishna's life. But what is the life of Sri Ramakrishna? Life of Sri Ramakrishna, I will read a small quote here from Mahatma Gandhi. He says, Sri Ramakrishna was a living embodiment of godliness. Sri Ramakrishna was a living embodiment of godliness. His sayings are not those of a mere learned man, but they are pages from the book of life. They are revelations of his own experiences. They are revelation of his own experiences. So one of you says, yes, I bow down to God. What do you mean by God? God. Some image, I have some respect, I call it God. But when Sri Ramakrishna says that I bow down to God, he actually experiences God. That's the difference between us and Sri Ramakrishna. How did he attain that stage? That's a right question that comes. We really do not have any logical answer to that. We only say, as the Secretary Maharaj pointed out, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Whenever there is a decline in religion, some divine power is born, which we do not know how to explain in all the logical language, but it comes out with a solution which is simply the right solution for that time. So you find Sri Ramakrishna's life, that solution. So he was born in a small village called Kamarpukur, 100 kilometers from Calcutta. Anyone going to Calcutta, please try to visit it. It's not very difficult to. It's a small village. The place, the hut in which Ramakrishna was born is still preserved as it is. Now around it there is a center of the Ramakrishna mission, a number of activities, lot of devotees go there, every day puja is there. So there is a place of Sri Ramakrishna's birth, Kamarpukur. It's even now a small village. There is no railway as yet, but there is a possibility that the railway line might be extended to that. Then, what was the characteristic of him when he was a little child? He was born of very poor parents. And very interesting, his birth had got a divine origin. His father was a very devout, truthful man. He was once asked to give a false evidence in a property case. He refused. So the zamindar of the village actually drove him out. That is how from the previous village he came to the present village called Kamarpukur. So one day, after many days of being there, he went on a small trip, anyway, a Tirtha Yatra in Gaya, in Bihar, today's Bihar. There he had a vision of Lord Vishnu, saying that I will be born as your child. He said, don't be born as my child, because I don't have all those big things which are required to take care of God. He said, don't worry, whatever you will give, I will take care. On the other hand, his wife, which means Ramakrishna's mother, went to Shiva temple, and there she had a divine experience of some light entering into her womb. And later she felt that she is carrying a child. So when both of them met later, they exchanged their experiences, and they were surprised that there is something divine being who is going to come. And the point is, on one side Vishnu, one side Shiva. They take a combination right in Sri Ramakrishna's person. Right from the beginning of his life, he is as if putting forth the idea that these different names, Shiva, Vishnu, Durga, Ganesha, Kartikeya, they are not different gods. They are expressions of the same divine Godhead, and this he does it by his own life. As a small child, Sri Ramakrishna grew up in the village without much of education, except little learned how to read and write, very less of it. And he was a happy-go child in a village, very good at painting, drama, etc. He had his first experience as a little child when he was going through a place where there was greenery around, and there was a black cloud, and there was a white cranes, birds going. And he was so much fascinated, he fell into a trance. He was hardly maybe 7-8 years old. He had the first trance. There are like that many incidents are there in childhood. Then he comes to, after his father's passing away with his elder brother, he comes to Calcutta, and his brother takes him for the priestly duties. and says, come, let us do this. He said, he goes with him. But then one day he says, you have to learn Sanskrit, you have to learn other things. He said, what for? You have to go through the formal education. He said, what for? He said, for you carrying on your livelihood. He said, I am not just interested in only that education which gives livelihood. I want something more. See, what a courageous answer. A little child saying that I am not interested only in the education which is only giving me livelihood. I want something more. Later on, in the temple of Mother Kali, Dakshineshwar, again it is in Calcutta, it is visited by thousands every day, you can also go. Dakshineshwar temple, under some circumstances, Sri Ramakrishna and his brother both went there and they became priests because they came from the priestly background. So that was the profession, so to say, open to them. And there, the transformation in Sri Ramakrishna took place. He just looked at the image of Mother and said, oh, is this only a stone? We go to temple and we say, we have some image, we have some feeling, and say there is God there. But do we say, oh Lord God, you reveal to me. Show me you, who you are. But that's what Sri Ramakrishna had. And that's the challenge he gave through his life to those people who doubt the presence of God. People say there is God, or some people say there is no God. This dispute is right from the beginning of the creation. But Sri Ramakrishna solved it like rishis in the ancient days by one thing. He said, I will ask the nature. So he started praying intensely. He started weeping, crying. And that intense longing revealed to him one day that there is divinity present there, and he had the vision of the Divine Mother there. That intensity, please remember that the intensity of seeking, it doesn't come that easily. We all say, after reading Sri Ramakrishna's books, we say, oh yes, we can also possibly long for God, but it doesn't come so easily. It comes only when the heart has become pure. That was the message of Sri Ramakrishna. He said, don't worry about doctrines, don't worry about rituals, don't worry about external things. Are you sincere? Are you seeking God? Are you honest to God? Do you want God? Then God will reveal Himself to you. Whether you are of Hinduism or belonging to other religions, doesn't matter. Are you sincere? If you are sincere, you will see God. As I have seen, that's what Sri Ramakrishna said, as I have seen. He did not make God only into a concept. No, it's a concept. It is written in the Purana, it is written in the Vedas. He actually experienced it. That's the greatness of Sri Ramakrishna. That's what Mahatma Gandhi says. His teachings are not a mere learned man, but the pages from the book of his life. Later, Sri Ramakrishna experienced the same presence of God through different ways, such as he practiced different forms of Hinduism, like Tantras he practiced. He practiced the Vaishnavism's various forms. He practiced the Hanuman Bhakti he practiced. Then he was not just satisfied with these, he practiced Islam, he practiced Christianity. And he found through all these ways one divine Godhood. One divine God. He says, everyone says, my watch is correct. Nowadays we will say, my mobile watch is correct. Everyone says. Similarly, the Hindus say they are correct, the Muslims say they are correct, the Christians say they are correct. Sri Ramakrishna said, as long as you point out to the highest reality, you are correct. But don't find fault with others. Don't find fault with others. So, Sri Ramakrishna's experiences as if validated the presence of God in all religious traditions. And above all, he never gave up his own roots. That's the point. He didn't say that I am going into different religions, so I'll make a strange, let me use the word sambar sadam of everything. Not like that. He stuck to his roots. He was born into Sanatana Dharma, he stuck to that. But he had great respect for other religious traditions. And then, as the flower opens, as the lotus flower opens, so various bees come. Like that, various disciples started coming of them. And mentors. One of them, you all know, his name was Swami Vivekananda. And then there were others, like you see here, Swami Ramakrishna next to Holy Mother, and all of them this side and that side. They all came to Sri Ramakrishna. There are many more whose pictures are not here. They were householders. They were married men. They were women. They were ascetics. They were people who just came for some time and went away. We do not have details. Hundreds of them came, and Sri Ramakrishna taught them just through conversations. They came. If he just talked to him, they learned. And he lived for just 50 years. And these 50 years, Romarola, great French author, he says, he as if he put together, it was the consummation of the 2,000 or 3,000 years of spirituality of India. So that's why we find that Sri Ramakrishna in his simple life, it was such an intense life. His gospel is there, gospel is his teachings. It is there in form of a book. It's a 1,000-page book. And it is just last four years of his life that have been recorded well. And then we have incidents and parables from his life. He will say, the most beautiful thing about Sri Ramakrishna is simplicity. Simplicity of teaching. For instance, how do we live in this world? How do we live in this world? There are so many learned things can be said, but Sri Ramakrishna gives an example. Suppose you want to cut a jackfruit. All of us know what is jackfruit. The jackfruit has got a sticky white liquid. So if you cut it, it gets stuck. So how do you do it? You put some oil on your hands and cut it. Same way, he said, this is how you have to live in the world. Word sticks to you. Word, through all its money, with all its enjoyments and desires and raga, dvesha sticks to you. But if you have the oil of love for God and detachment, it will not stick to you. What a simple way of putting it. Another way, he says, when a plant is very young, it should be hedged around. You know, when you go to the roadside, you find some tree. It has not been hedged around, not protected around. Then somebody may just, with his leg destroy it, or some goat may eat it, or something, some damage may happen. But once it is grown, that plant, we need not have that hedge. Same way, various religious traditions, rituals, various things that we have are like for the protection of the young spiritual plant that all of us have. What a simple way of putting it. Like that we find Sri Ramakrishna's teachings, enough of truth in that. With one story, I think I should find up one or two stories from him, because Sri Ramakrishna taught through his through stories. There's a book called Tales and Parables of Sri Ramakrishna, or more than 200 stories of Sri Ramakrishna are given in that. So there is this story of a tigress who was about to jump over. She was pregnant and she was about to jump over and catch one lamb. But in the process, she miscalculated, missed a step, fell down and died, but in the process gave birth to the young cub. So the young cub was taken up by the goats and the shepherd who was taking care of the goats. And suppose you find such a thing, what will happen? It grew like other goats. Tiger grew like goats. So the goats are eating grass, the grass will be eaten by the young cub also. They will make the sound of a goat, he will also make the sound of a goat. And it went on like that. Till one day an actual tiger came. And that tiger saw this little tiger. He ran towards the goat to catch, and he saw one tiger along with the goats is running. He was surprised. Tiger should fight back, but he is also running away. So he studied it. He found that this tiger is something different. So he went and caught hold of the tiger and said, "Come on, you're also a tiger." He started weeping. He started man like that. Then he said, "Oh, there's something wrong. This fellow has been thinking it is a goat. Or let's say sheep, whatever the original story is." And he brought the goat tiger or sheep tiger to one day, dragged it. He did not kill it, dragged it near a pond and made him see, look there, who is there? here is a tiger, I am a tiger. Now you see, you are also a tiger. He was surprised. And then he took some flesh, which the tiger ate, and put it in its mouth. And then said, now I will roar, you also roar. Don't make the sound of a sheep, but make the sound of a tiger. And it did that. Sri Ramakrishna through this story says how we can discover our divine nature when we come in touch with the right teacher. When a teacher comes to us and shows us, we think we are small, we are limited, we are suffering, we have weaknesses. It is not necessary. These are all because you have been thinking like that. Come, listen to the actual teachings. And the teachings is that we are all divine, we are all children of God. Sri Ramakrishna validated the existence of all gods and goddesses, and yet he said that the spiritual truth even is beyond. And above all, in closing I must say, Sri Ramakrishna taught the most important thing for which, because of which all of you are here, and that is that he taught that we must learn to serve others and serve them in a spirit of worship, not just compassion. And Sri Ramakrishna taught, he said that can God be worshipped only in an image? Cannot be worshipped in human beings. I see the same God present in all human beings, he said. And that is how this idea of service has now resulted in what we call as the Ramakrishna Mutt and Ramakrishna Mission. All over the world, if there is so much of work going on, it is because of this realization and this teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, who saw the presence of God everywhere. I am very happy that we have spent some time together thinking about Sri Ramakrishna and his wonderful teaching, because it is always not very common, it's not always given to human beings to listen to or to discuss and think upon something as holy as teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. We have done that last 20 minutes, and I'm very happy that we are celebrating this 181st birthday of Sri Ramakrishna. Please, dear, wish you all the best. Thank you.